Hello, yeah. Today I just wanted to make a quick video on how to create a pop and bang map and also a two-step map on your Honda with the Hondata Kpro software. Yeah. First things first, you can either go new calibration, which is up to you. That's a bit of a minefield. Probably research into that before you start just selecting calibrations. I'll quickly go over it though, just to be sure. So I'm just going to go to a Civic Type R because that's my vehicle, and it has the K20A2, completely standard fuel system. It's not boosted in any way. No major internal modifications have been done, so I can choose either of these two maps and start from there. But what I would recommend doing, even though they say don't do it because it can have adverse effects, I've never actually had any issues by doing this, is you want to go to online, and then you want to go to tools, which sometimes if you're connected to the ECU, which I'm not right now, you won't actually see tools, you'll just see download here. But yeah, you want to go over to download. Once you're plugged into your ECU with the ignition on, you click download, and then it will download the ECU map here. So yeah, just be warned that people do say there can be issues downloading it direct from the ECU, but as I said, I've never had an issue, and I've been doing it for about a year-ish now. So yeah, take that as you will. Here, I'm just going to take one of my maps. I'll take the base map that I made, and we'll start from there. This hasn't got any pop and bang or anything set up, so I'll pretty much just show you the steps that I would take right now to set up a pop and bang map on my Civic. So the first step is you want to go over here to tables, over here where my mouse pointer is, and you've got your ignition low speed here and your ignition high speed here. These, you don't really need to worry about the difference. It's basically just your ignition when you're in VTEC, which is your high speed, and your ignition when you are not in VTEC, which is your low speed. So here, just a good reference, you don't have to worry about these numbers, anything here. Just follow where my pointer goes. So from this top column here, you want to go down 4 columns, so to here, where I've highlighted now, here. And then all you want to do is you want to drag across these two here. So you want to go across like that, and you want to go all the way to the bottom, so it'll look something like this. And then you want to right click on all of this, click adjust, and then here where it says set selected values to, you want to put -10 in here. Sorry, 10. You can go more aggressive with your timing retard. Obviously, it's a bit more in depth. This is just a simple video, quick and easy. Nothing. I don't want to go too in depth with anything, so you can research that if you would like to. But -10 degrees gives you a nice burble, makes the car sound nice, and is fairly safe, even if you're on standard cats. So yeah, ignition high speed. Gonna want to do the same thing here. Literally just want to come down 4 columns, and then you want to go across 2 and drag it all the way to the bottom like that. So it should look like that. And then I want to right click again, and I want to click adjust, and then I want to go over here and set my value, set selected values to -10, just like I did on the low speed ignition. Basically all that this is when I'm off throttle, my ignition will be retarded, and all that does is it helps send a power stroke. Even though it's not making actual engine power, it will send what would be a power stroke through your exhaust, basically, is the simple terms of it. So next you want to go over here to parameters, where I've just clicked here. So you want to go from tables to parameters, and then it's already selected for me here. You want to click on closed loop. So yeah, here where it's already selected, so I'll deselect it, and then I'll select it again, closed loop there. And then you want to come down here to closed loop options, and here it says disable fuel overrun cutoff delay, and you want to just check that box. That's all you want to do, just check that box. Then you go up here to the top left hand side, sorry, where it says advanced, and you want to click advanced. And then here where my mouse pointer is now, you want to go to overrun cutoff minimum RPM, and you want to go to this here. So below this bottom right hand column, you want to click on that, right click on that, sorry. You want to go to adjust, set selected values to, and you want to put these to 9,000. And what that is, it's basically telling the ECU, if when I'm off throttle and you're below 9,000 RPM, keep injecting fuel. That's all it's saying. Don't worry about, it's nothing dangerous, it's perfectly safe. So yeah, what you want to do is next, this is only if you want to have a two-step map as well, which if you don't, you're pretty much already ready to go. So let's say right now I didn't want to bother with the two-step map. What I'd do is, so I'd go here where this arrow is, still plugged into my ECU with the ignition on. I'd click that upload ignition changes to the ECU, and that's all you got to do. And then you'd have a pop and bang map when you're off throttle. But now comes, this is just as simple really, if not simpler. Here now, to set the two-step up, I want to click on where I am now, which is rev limits, and I want to go down here and I want to click enable launch control, and here you can set this to, I'm going to set it to 5,400, because what you want is this launch RPM limiter and the fuel ignition retard activation RPM, you need about 100 RPM difference. So your fuel and ignition retard will need to be around 100 to 200 RPM lower than the value that is in launch RPM limiter. So right here you see I'm 100 RPM below the launch RPM limiter when it comes to fuel and ignition retard. And that is, about where you want to be. So just make sure that the difference between these two is 100, and it's that your fuel and ignition retard is the lowest value. It has to be lower than your launch RPM limiter. You can set these two, I could go even to 4900 on this, and then I'd have to go to 4800 on this, because I need to be at least 100 degrees below, 100 RPM below, sorry. Here, this is the maximum speed you can be traveling with your two-step still being able to activate. So if I'm going below 30 mile an hour and I'm not in gear and I put my foot to the floor, it will hit my two-step limiter. But if I'm going 14 miles an hour and I put my foot to the floor, not in gear, it will just rev to the red line of the vehicle. So keep that in mind. Whatever you set this to is how fast you can be going and still be able to hit your two-step map. Here with fuel enrichment, don't really worry about this too much, just put a value of 100 in there and you'll be fine. Here with ignition retard, once again using pretty much, it is just a pretty obvious base. You can go just 50 degrees. This isn't, I'm not going to go too in depth, but this isn't 50 degrees past top dead center like what you would think it would be. It's basically taken 50 degrees out of your normal ignition timing map. So let's say it would normally be 30 degrees before top dead center. It would now be negative 20 degrees past top dead center, which is about right. You can go 50 degrees or you can go about 40 degrees. But yeah, those are the two values around where you want to be, somewhere around that, and you'd be fine. And and then you want to go here to this table up here now, this drop down menu, sorry, and you want to put always on. That's pretty much all you want to do. Just put always on. Obviously, if you want to go more in depth with it, you can select what you want to actuate it, so you can have it so when you press the clutch or something like that, or when you press the brake or something, that's when you can enable launch control or two-step or whatever. But I just prefer to leave it on. It just makes it simpler and less steps to it. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to know. Yeah, you'll be once you've done all this, and obviously if you've downloaded the map from the ECU, then everything else should be fine. You'll be you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. Literally just that. It's ever so simple. Obviously if there's any questions in the comments, or if you'd like me to make another video going over something more in depth, I'd be happy to help. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was helpful. Let me know if I've missed anything also in the comments, and I'll try my best to rectify anything I've missed, or any faults I made, or any mistakes I've made whilst doing this. I don't believe I've definitely not made any mistakes in the mapping itself, but I may have made some mistakes in the way I've explained things. Like I said, my terminology might not be perfect, but yeah, I just hope that I've been able to teach you a little something today. And yeah, now you don't have to pay your local mapper a couple £100 for him to do 2 minutes work. You can do it yourself. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Any questions, obviously leave them in the comment. Thank you.